Hey guys, I had a community member reach out to me recently about tempering and masterworking, and he was sort of confused. He's kind of new to the game. He didn't know what item was an upgrade and what wasn't, and the item in this case was Pain Gorgers. And I thought this would be a great example for video for anybody getting back into Diablo 4, coming into the expansion, and just trying to understand how tempering and masterworking sort of works for you from a character player power perspective, and just giving you a quick little rundown of the math in a way that shouldn't be too boring. So let's dig into it right now. So here was the live example that we had. This person's name is Huston motherfucking Jinx. Huston, he came out and said, hey man, I've been using these Pain Gorgers. I masterworked them to rank 4, but I just found these other Pain Gorgers. Are they better? And Huston was doing something incorrect, unfortunately. He didn't know that the game offers this item ranges ability that allowed him to see how good an item could be compared to what he had. And so if you're in a similar boat, let's start off doing the following. We're going to go back into the game and we're going to press options. So escape, options, gameplay. And I'm going to ask you to turn on advanced tooltip compare and advanced tooltip information. Then hit save changes and close. Press escape again. Now, when you mess over any of your gear, you're going to see that little rectangle that kind of shows up. You see attack speed 7 to 9%, and if I press shift, it'll compare this item with the equipped, and you'll know which one's equipped because it tells you there, gloves that I have. Awesome. So now that you have that and Huston had that, it was time to go to step 2 and understand what happens in masterworking. And we're going to use a couple websites to sort of illustrate the difference here and why it matters. So the new tempering masterworking system allows you to masterwork or upgrade a piece of gear 12 times. That's what the 12 means, and 4 is your current level. So what happens in the game is, for ranks 1 through 3, whenever you masterwork a piece of gear, you're going to increase it by 5% per level. So 5 on rank 1, 5 on rank 2, 5 on rank 3 for a total of 15%. Okay? And then on rank 4, 4 is the good one, 4 increases something by 25% and turns it blue. Okay? And you're going to see that right here. That's why his attack speed is the one that got hit and it's blue. So he has this, and then he finds this other Pain Gorger, and he's not sure which one's good because now the base value looks like 9.8. But it was actually 7 when he started, and he didn't remember. Okay? So this formula continues all the way for 12 levels. And I'm going to sort of write out what happens. So from rank 5s through 7, right? That's going to increase by 15% more, in addition to what already happened. And then for rank 8, it's going to go up by another 25%, and that's going to change something. So if he hit the same item, or affix in this case, twice, yellow, it becomes yellow instead of blue. So blue turns to yellow, and if he hits it a third time, it'll turn gold. So 8 was 25% more, 9 through ranks 9, 11. That goes up by 15% more because 5% per level. And then finally on rank 12, it goes up by another 25%. Okay? So all this math, I'm going to show you a really easy calculation to do so you don't get too bored or overwhelmed, because I don't want to have to do this every time, and neither should you. So there's actually a great way to figure that out. We're going to talk about that. So if you hit on rank 4, I'll put this here. On rank 4, it's going to be blue, which is that. On rank 8, it's going to make the same affix you hit twice, yellow. And then on rank 12, it'll make that, if you hit the exact same one 3 times, it'll make it kind of golden orange or like legendary color. And I got a piece of gear here I can show you. Raven of the Infinite. You see how glass cannon is orange? I hit glass cannon 3 times in a row. On my gloves, I hit critical strike damage once, that's why it's blue. And I hit critical strike damage again twice, that's why it's yellow. But back into the example here. So how can you find out what gloves are going to roll without knowing? Like, how would you know this? How can you check? Here's how you check. It's pretty simple. So Maxroll does some really good math for you on their character planners, and I've got this set up already. This is Pain Gorgers, which is what we're talking about. So in Huston's example, he had the nut low 7%, and he hit masterworking once to make it blue, and it's rank 4. So 5% increase in the stats, 10% increase, 15%, and on rank 4, he hit attack speed. Bang, 9.8. He has 9.8. Are these gloves better? They're exactly the same because it's 7% either way. It's just increased 4 times, which would be kind of elusive. And so all this math that I talked about earlier, the way you figure this out to find out how good an item could be would be the following, okay? You're going to look at the base value. So you set your masterwork to 0 at 7%. So if you take 7%, you can open up calculators and sort of save this, and 7%, or whatever the base value is going to be, cooldown reduction, attack speed, whatever, 7% times 2.2. That assumes that the item is now masterwork level 12, and you hit 3 times on greater affixes. So I'll show you. We push the gloves to rank 12, and we hit on rank 4, 8, and 12, 15.4%, 15.4%. Perfect. Now you might ask yourself, but what happens if I was really lucky and I hit that greater affix? What happens then? Well, a little something special happens for you guys to know. First of all, when you greater affix an item, it forces the highest range possible. So if you look at this example again, it wouldn't be 9.8, it would be 12.6. It'd be 9% to start instead of 7. So that happens. Click the star icon, and you take your value and multiply it by 1.5. So 9%, greater affix makes things 150% stronger, so 9% becomes 13.5, and then you masterwork it. But the formula in your calculator is really simple. You take your 9%, multiply it by 2.7, and that's going to give you the overall masterworked greater affix triple hit value. So it's like this, right? Kind of wordy there, but masterwork to 12, assume that you hit a greater affix, and then hit it on rank 4, 8, and 12. If you're super lucky, 24.3, 24.3. And that formula works for anything in any situation. And the reason it's important to know this when you're trying to build a character is because there's caps in the game. Attack speed caps, resistance caps, things like that. And I'm going to go over to Diablo 4 here, the D4Builds.gg site. And I really like this site. It's really great for quickly developing builds and trying to see what works good and what kind of synergies you can make. But it does fall a little bit short when it comes to the mathematics side of things. As an example, in this Turbo Spear build that I'm using right now, Andariel's Visage triple hit on the attack speed, but it shows you guys 30%. But that's actually not true, because a triple masterwork on attack speed should be 66% and even higher if I hit, as an example, a greater affix. And to show you that example, I'll add Andariel's Visage here, right? And you're going to see it's 30% base attack speed. But on this site, it shows you 30% because it only displays the minimum value, right? It only shows you that. So what would the number be? It's going to be 66%. So if we take 30% and we masterwork it and we hit 1, 2, 3, it's 66%. And in-game, can we check to see if that's true? And it certainly is. And how do we know that? We just took the base value of 30, right? Clear everything out. 30% times 2.2. And that gives us 66%. It works on any piece of gear. It helps you understand the math behind your character's power. And I hope that this sort of removes any sort of frustration or confusion when it comes to you picking up gear for the game and wondering, hey, is this any good? Just again, one more time to get this on for yourself. It's Escape, Options, Gameplay, and you're looking for advanced tooltip information, advanced tooltip compare.